Excellent. I want to say this much about education. It is fundamentally a man's way of teaching. They put 30 kids in a room, they play winners and what? Losers. It is not a nurturing system of education.
You make the point in the book in terms of that. You make the point that the difference between committees and the education system. Committees work together. They're there to try and actually not put people down, but in fact enhance their ability.
Right. Let me say it another way. I met a man who was a banker, head of a bank. He said one thing. He said, I only hire farmers. I said, why do you hire farmers only? He says, because farmers know how to nurture a bank. He says, women know how to nurture. It's really important to nurture. The thing I want to talk to you right now about women is this. If you do not change right now, I hear people whinging and saying that men are, what, and all this. I am very concerned about the future of your kids. Every time you look at them in the eyes, it's your kids. The way you educate a kid is by nurturing, not killing one off against the other. When I was in Vietnam, I had a chance one day to shoot a little boy. He was a Viet Cong in my aircraft, and I grabbed the kid, and he grabbed me like this, and what he did was he bit my hand, and he kicked me right here, and all of a sudden I got really quiet. I just pulled my gun out, and I heard the Marine Corps saying to me, shoot him. Just shoot the little you-know-what. All of a sudden I looked in his eyes, and the kid started to cry when he realized I was going to kill him at that moment. And the only thing that stopped me from killing him was I heard my mother speaking to me, and she was almost crying. She had died, this was 1972, she had died in 1970, and she was crying. I could hear her almost saying, she says, son, please stop, please stop, please stop. I did not raise you to take another mother's child. I did not give you life to take another mother's child, and that's the day I stopped. And at that day on, I refused to fight again for the U.S. military. It's one of the hardest decisions I ever made, but the main reason I did it was that's what my dad taught me. Back when he says, screw him and all this, he says, never get pushed around. Never get pushed around. Don't let anybody violate what you know inside. There's one thing the Japanese, I'm not Buddhist, but the Japanese say is this, the Buddhist religion is, there's 3 major sins. I don't know what 2 of them are, but I know what one of them is. One of the major sins is to go along with the crowd. That is a major sin. Now the reason that a lot of times the Oriental kids seem to be doing, there's a lot of Japanese kids in my school, so I can speak about them. But they would study and study and study. I'm out playing football, And the one thing my parents and the Japanese kids do is this, is that we love our parents so very much, we want to, at all costs, to be proud of them. The question I ask all of you right now, how proud of you are your kids? How proud of you are your kids right now? Yeah, that's the most important thing. My mother and dad quit a very high-paying job to join John Kennedy's Peace Corps when the war broke out. I joined the Marine Corps. They never said, don't do it. They just loved me and let me go on my own path.
How do you break the patterns though, Robert? I mean, people may agree with what you're talking about here, but we have to raise our children in an education system. We have to live in a system.
Yes, this is what I want to leave you with today. This is how you can break the pattern. I want to speak to all the women here especially. Is the difference in the Asian culture is this, is that we're expected to excel. We're expected to excel. I'm expected to do well in school. And if I can speak free, I spend more time here in Australia than I do in my own home. I come out here, I've been coming out here since 1976. I spend more time out here. The thing that saddens me here is I see within this culture a thing called the tall poppy syndrome. How can you expect your kids to excel within your culture? It's not okay to excel. This country loves to win, but cannot stand being winners. There is a difference. A winner has to stay a winner all the time. It's like John Bertrand. It's tough. You have to stay out there in front of everybody. The thing I'd like to ask you to do right now, for those of you who still have children, if you do this, we can change this country now. All you have to do right now is go home to your children, your little babies, and every night whisper in their ear, be a great tall poppy. Not an ordinary tall poppy, be a what? Great tall poppy. Every night, whisper in their ear, be a what? Great tall poppy. Look, if you don't believe it, and you don't say it to your kids, how can you expect your kids to change? What I want you to whisper in the ear every night, be a great tall poppy. I can't hear you. What do you have to say? Be a great tall poppy. Come on, I can't hear you. Be a great tall tall poppy. Please ask yourself this question right now. What would your lives be like right now if your parents had said to you, be a tall poppy, be a great one? Where would you be today? Where would your lives be right now? No, please hear me. It is that simple. We can change this entire country within less than 5 years. If every parent then said to their kids, just before they went to bed, what do I want you to say to them? Be a great tall poppy. One more time, be a what? Great tall poppy. What I want you to say? Be a great tall poppy. Look, I want to say something right now. I'm personally disappointed. No, I'm disappointed with this group right now. Look, no, please hear me. I hear all this whinging about this country, the politicians, education system. We are only a reflection of ourselves right now. If you cannot say it, how can you expect your kids to say it? Do you hear what I'm saying? One second, hold on one second. I hear about people want to cut down. Who's the only person who's going to protect your kids? You. All I want you to say to them is this. What do you want you to say to them? Be a great tall poppy. Thank you.
But in saying that, just stay there for a moment, Rob. In saying that, you're saying that not in business necessarily or anywhere, just
yes.
whatever they do.
Yes.
Whatever they do.
If they're going to be a great doctor, be a great doctor. A great footballer, be a great footballer. A great